To the NJ show. How are you all doing? Let's make sure we're live. Let's quickly make sure we're live and then we'll kick the show off. Ooh, we got some news today. Excuse me. Let's make sure we're live. Okay, we're live. We're live. Fantastic. Fantastic. How is everybody doing? Did you guys have a great weekend? Let me know in the chat. Drop me some comments in the chat. Let's wait for a few more people to jump in and we'll talk about what's going on. We got some juicy news today. Ooh la la, we got some juicy news today. And as always, I'm going to try and explain it in a way that that we can all understand. I've been looking around, everybody's talking about it, but everybody's using fancy terms and everybody's trying to make it sound complicated when it actually isn't really that complicated. So we're going to discuss it today. We can do a bit of TA. I think I'm going to save the TA for tomorrow. I'm going to let Monday unfold, and then we're going to do a fresh chart tomorrow because I'm looking at the charts and right now it's just looking horrible, So we'll do more TA tomorrow, but doesn't mean that today's episode is going to be dead. Today's episode is going to be good. We've got some stuff to talk about today. Let's have a look at some of these comments real quick. Okay, we got the first comment. We got Ace saying, let's go, Ace. Ace of spades. Don't worry, Ace, you're not a spade. You're a star. Ace of stars. KAR Crypto, my good friend, always turning up, always learning, always putting out the information there. I've got my eye on you, KAR Crypto. I can see you're putting the work in, mate. Joel says you're live. Yes, thank you very much, Joel. It's good to see you. And KAR with another one here. Did you see the United game? Of course I saw the United game, brother. Of course. Little clean sheet. First back-to-back win since February. We've got a strong back line now. We're doing all right. Keep the comments in. Keep the comments coming in. I'll read some more comments out before we start talking because it's going to get serious in a minute. We have got Aromatic Genetics saying, hello, NJ. Hello, Aromatics. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to have you here on the show, my friend. Phil, the Flying Frenchman, says, good morning, everyone. I love it. Good morning, everyone. Vegeta Crypto, welcome to the chat. Vegeta with a big yo. And we've got Try, who says, thinking about buying the dip. No, not right now. We'll do some more TA tomorrow, but I mean, it's not a very good idea. Just be careful. Min says, what's up, NJ? What's up, bro? How you doing, brother? From Vietnam. I remember you. I see you all the time. Crypto Mac, good to see you, mate. Marcin says, when SHIB $1, you're going to be a little bit older by the time SHIB hits $1, my friend. It's going to take a couple years. And D, nice to see you, D. Good to see you, my love. KAR again. When are you coming up to Manchester? When my dad wants to hit Old Trafford, we'll definitely go. I'll let you guys know when I'm hitting up Manchester. I do. As soon as my dad wants to go to Old Trafford, as soon as he feels up to it, then I'm going to go. I want to see a few more comments and we'll kick off the show. So Jay says, yo, what's up? What's up, Jay? Tyler, good morning to you. And, oh, look at this is an interesting one. Mitchie says, doing push-ups while listening to you, brother. Okay. Yeah, G. Do some push-ups, do some sit-ups. Cool. Hard. Tyler says, not looking good, bruv. No, it's not. And what we're going to talk about today is a bit mad too. Rightio, let's kick off the show. So before we kick off the show... Oh, okay, one more. Merhaba, my friend. How are you from Turkey? Thank you for tuning into the show. I hope you are doing well. Rightio. Okay, listen up, future millionaires. Before we kick off the show, which we're going to in a sec, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing to the content if you haven't subscribed to the content already. Today's subject is going to be about AVAX. So let's talk about AVAX. Right. A lot of you guys know that there's been some rumors, there's been some sort of news that's going around Twitter, the internet in general, talking about AVAX. Some big sort of debacle is going around with AVAX. Now, I've been looking into this and I was trying to think of the best analogy to try and explain it to you guys because I know a lot of people aren't understanding it. When I saw it at the beginning, I thought to myself, I don't understand what's actually going on. Everybody's talking about FUD and everybody's talking about the CEO and the COO and this person and that person, but nobody's actually telling me in one sentence what the problem is. What's causing price to decline in the fashion that it's declining in, right? So I did a bit more digging. I read the articles. Even the articles weren't exactly too clear. but I think I found a good explanation. I'm going to break it down for you guys today. So we'll kick it off. Imagine all of us here. We were all kings and queens in our rightful respects. We all sat on a round table. Now, I'm Trader NJ. We've got all the people in the chat, all these lovely people, and we're all sitting around a round table. And each of us, we have our own kingdoms or our own crypto projects in this particular instance, okay? We all do our own thing. We all respect each other. We all shake hands. We have a general sort of status quo between us. There's a general sort of respect that goes on between us, okay? Now, what happens is we've got the police, which is the SEC, the SEC, with me so far, yeah? So what I do is I pay someone to go and dig up dirt on all of you guys and girls, all right? Then I take all the information that I dug up on you lot, I sue you guys for it, and I pass this information to the SEC so that they take their eyes off me and whatever I'm doing and they focus on you guys. That's basically what's going on. And we're going to dive into it right now. So if you just bear with me. So if I go here. So where did this start off? All of this kicked off with a tweet that came out from Crypto Leaks. Now, I've just recently started following Crypto Leaks, so I'm not 100% sure what the accuracy is. What I will say is the same way when we're talking about charts and we're talking about trading and whatnot, I say that this is not financial advice. Well, it's the same thing here. I wouldn't take what they're saying as gospel. You know, I would read the information, I would pass the information, and we take a step back. No judgment. We're not going to say anything off the bat. When things like this come out, we need to take it with a pinch of salt, just like when we're taking trade ideas, right? So anyway, I started following Crypto Leaks recently, and they've got a new case now. So Crypto Leaks case 3, Labs or Avalanche attacks Solana and cons the SEC in evil conspiracy with a bought law firm, Roche Friedman. So Roche Friedman is the law firm. Don't get confused just by the name. I got confused too. I was like, who's that? You know? Now, the interesting thing about this is they've got all sorts of videos as well. Like, we're going to go through this whole article, right? It's going to be a long episode, but we're going to go through it. Excuse me. Now, when we go through all these videos, you're going to see a bunch of footage. Now, I want you guys to remember that before we go through these videos, right, that there is a bias to this article. You know, I can feel it. I've read through this whole thing, and it's kind of putting a lot of weight on AVAX. Like, you see AVAX, yeah, they're nice, but they're dickheads, you know? It's like that. Very, very biased. You know, you say one very, very small nice thing, and then you top it off with a very, very heavy negative thing to say. So look, we start the article by saying, and this is a document, right? This isn't even an article. It's a document where Crypto Leaks have put it together. It's the WikiLeaks of crypto. They've put it together, and they're saying Avalanche is attacking Solana and cons the SEC in evil conspiracy with a law firm. Okay? So let's start from the very beginning. Avalanche is an American for-profit company. Everybody knows that. Develops and promotes Avalanche blockchain. Everybody knows that. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys here. There we go. That should be easy for you guys to see now. And promotes Avalanche blockchain, which recently raised substantial funding in collaboration with 3 Arrows Capital. Okay? Now, again, I told you this article is biased. Now, we've been covering 3 Arrows on this channel for weeks and weeks and weeks. We've had everything to do with 3 Arrows on this channel. Whenever there was some sort of major news as to how their downfall occurred, we were covering it here on this channel. Okay, so if you have watched any of my previous videos, you'll know, or listen to my previous videos, you know, this kind of could be a podcast in some way, shape, or form too, along with the news, TA, you know, the usual. Now, again, notice how the beginning of the article, it brings up 3 Arrows. So again, it's kind of making me think, oh, these guys are a bit biased against AVAX. We don't even know who really runs Crypto League. So anyway, we carry on. The failed hedge fund that has been accused of acting like a Ponzi scheme. It's led by CEO and founder Amin Gun Sirer. and claims to employ more than 150 people. So this just talks about who AVAX are. We've got a bit of a mugshot here from my man. That hairline is mad though. That's mad. There's no box or nothing. Like, you see the box? You see the box? The box? My man don't have that. So Roach Friedman is a law firm that widely sues people in crypto. Okay, so there we go. We know who Roach Friedman is now and why the name is of importance. Is because Roach Friedman is a law firm that sues people in crypto. I'm sure BitBoy has used this firm recently in the past. We were supposed to cover this news last week, with the whole BitBoy lawsuit thing. But again, there was technical difficulties. There was a few issues, personal issues. I couldn't come stream. Anyway, I digress. So currently running at least 25 class actions. Now, a class action, as you guys might know, is a lawsuit, right? Including against Binance, the crypto exchange, and Avalanche competitors. So, who are the AVAX competitors? Well, if we look at the AVAX competitors, it's right here. We've got Solana, we've got Polygon, we've got Kronos, we've got Phantom, we've got, where's Cosmos, man? Tron is technically as well. We've got BSC. Any sort of token that has its own chain, they're going to be competitors, right? Because AVAX's chain, they're going to say, okay, well, we want you to use our chain. If you want to send money from me to you, from her to him to her, from your uncle to your auntie, we want you to use the AVAX ecosystem. Why use ETH? And why use Solana? And why use Near? And why use Algorand and whatever? Or ADA? When you can use AVAX. Fair enough, you guys understand. So it is led by founding partner Carl Roach. Now, this is an important name, okay? Because I think all the videos come from him. Yeah, this guy here. Look at this guy, bro. This guy looks like he wants to sell you something. Like, don't you feel like if you're going to buy a car or a house, this is the guy that you're going to meet, So we can reveal that for several years, they have been operating according to an extraordinary secret pact that harms the crypto industry. Again, very biased article, and has a nature so perverse that it undermines the integrity of the American legal system. So this is coming a bit like Harry Potter. Some years ago, blockchain company Avalanche and American law firm Roach Friedman made a deal. A pact was formed that involved Avalanche granting Roach Friedman a massive quantity of Avalanche stock. So if you're holding AVAX, this is something that you need to be aware of, okay? When you're holding a token, one of the things that you need to be aware of in general, and this is a little FA trick that I'm teaching you guys, you need to be aware of who's holding your token, okay? I'll give you an example. Let's say, for instance, all of us in the group right now, we're all holding a token, okay? And one of us is holding, I don't know, a massive amount of tokens, enough tokens that if we were to sell these tokens, let's say I'm the person that's holding these massive amount of tokens. If I was to sell these tokens, it would have a massive impact on price. Okay? You kind of need to be aware when you're doing your fundamental analysis. Don't just look at private sell, public sell, and circulating supply. You got to look at who's holding the tokens. Which VCs have invested on the private sell? Which influencers have invested on the private sell? Who is actually holding these tokens, right? And if you know who's holding these tokens, and the next question is, well, are these people trustworthy? Are we going to have people that's holding tokens that are going to be holding for the long run? They bought in at a cent, or they bought private sale at 0.1 cent, and they're holding for the foreseeable future, not because they want to make a monetary return on this token, but because they believe the token itself has the prestigiousness, if you want to call it, to get to the top and be the most used token. All right. So again, look here what it says. We can reveal that for several years, they've been operating according to an extraordinary secret pact that harms the crypto industry and has a nature that perverses and undermines the integrity of the American legal system, followed by here, made a deal. A pact was formed that involved Avalanche granting Roach Friedman a massive quantity of Avalanche stock and Avalanche cryptocurrency tokens, now worth hundreds of millions of dollars, in exchange for Roach Friedman agreeing to pursue the hidden purpose. So remember what I said at the beginning of the show. I said, imagine we all had a round table and we each had our kingdoms, right? And then we have the police, which is the SEC. And the SEC, they're looking at all of us. And I'm thinking to myself, crap, I don't want these guys to look at me. So what I do is I pay a law firm. I pay like someone to come. Like in Lord of the Rings, it would be like Wormtongue, Wormtail, or whatever. Who's that guy? You know, the one that's like always whispering in the King of Rohan's ear. Or in Game of Thrones, it would be like Varys, you know? Anyway, I pay one of these mans and I'm like, yo, listen, dig up dirt on all these other guys, Solana, Ape, Solana, Near, Phantom. Dig up dirt on all of these guys for me and then send it to me. I'll sue them and then I'll pass this information to the SEC so that they can stop looking at me. And in return, I'm going to give you a ton of AVAX tokens. So keep that in mind. Remember that. Okay. So this will really help you understand. And it's helping me understand it more by explaining it to you guys as well. I prefer these episodes. These episodes are fun, man. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So now these tokens that they gave to these lawyers, apparently, right, are worth hundreds of millions of dollars in exchange for Roach Friedman agreeing to pursue a hidden purpose, which is, like I said, supposedly to go and dig up dirt on all these other guys. In a shocking series of video recordings shared by this case investigation, Kyle Roach himself now reveals that the exact nature of their ongoing operations. The case is highly disturbing in nature. So apparently, my man has come out and he's like, yeah, I was doing this, you know, like I was just digging up dirt on them mans so that I could help AVAX sue the rest. I don't know why he would come out and do that because, you know, we will later find out how many tokens he actually got, you know. This brother became massively rich off this deal, which we don't know if it actually happened or not. But like the video and subscribe to the channel because we're going to be covering this more. Maybe more information will come out on a later date and we'll make sure we cover it here on the show. So we can reveal that the pact directs Roach Friedman and their leader, Kyle Roach, to one, use the American legal system in a gangster style to attack and harm crypto organizations and project that might compete with Ava Labs and Avalanche in some way. Number two, sue crypto industry actors, generally with the aim of creating magnets for regulators such as the SEC and CFTC that distract them from the highly commercial nature of Ava Labs and the Avalanche blockchain. And three, secretly pursue Amin Gun Sirez's personal vendettas against the individual. I'm telling you, this is the most Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones style crypto I've ever seen in my life. I hate to say it, but I'm loving it. I hate to say it. I'm telling you, this could be an episode. Like somebody could film this and put it in an olden style, and this is how it would work. I can imagine Amin there with like a quill, and he's writing on his notes. He's got a list like Arya Stark had a list where, you know, she wanted to kill all these people, like the Hounds, Cersei Lannister, and whatnot. This is exactly the same thing, you know. So anyway, we've got the three parts of the pact. So remember this as well as we continue to dive into the episode. All right, as usual, crypto leaks, blah 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 blah. Well done, Crypto Leaks, for proposing all of this. But if it turns out to be wrong, then we can't really big up Crypto Leaks. So here we go. We've got the first video here, yeah. So August 2019, the newly formed law firm Roach Friedman moved into a co-working space with Ava Labs. So imagine office to office. So how do I explain this? Okay, we've got the NJ show, right? The NJ show is being hosted here, where my desk is. But I'm not the only person in the In It for the Tech team. There's other people in the In It for the Tech team too. You've got Liz, you've got Murtaza, but these people, they're not here right now with me. So in this particular instance, what they're saying here with Roach Friedman is moving into a co-working space is if Liz and Murtaza, we all came together and we had one office for In It for the Tech and we were actually physically together. So as soon as this happens, boom, here's the first video. Let's watch it together in awe.
So I started my law firm August, moving to the co-working space August 2009.
Yo, big man thing, this guy is definitely gonna sell you something. No cap.
So
This
I start my long.
no cap. This guy would. I saw in the comments somewhere. Someone put it in the comments, and it was a fantastic comment. By the way, guys, this is an interactive show. I know I'm talking a lot, but you guys are entitled to make your opinions and stuff. So if you guys want to say anything, or if you guys want to talk about it, then you can. All right, you're free to do so here on the NJ show. But look at this comment from Redacted. He says he looks like he wants to sell you a used BMW. That's exactly what I'm thinking as well. So big up to that comment, you know. Look, we've got another one here as well. He looks like a guy that will dump on you hard. Like he'll sell you a BMW that's used but with engine problems, you know. Anyway, we don't know the brother. We don't know him, so we can't bully him. So we continue. So big money establishes a secret pact. Okay, that's the next part. And we saw that at the earlier stages of this article. In exchange for Roach Friedman providing what Kyle calls legal services, Avalabs granted them massive amounts. And notice this term here. They're not hiding it. Of AVAX tokens. Okay, so that affects you directly. If you're a holder of AVAX, I was a massive holder of AVAX in 2021. No cap. I was a massive holder of AVAX. I loved AVAX so much. And when Avalanche came to the scene, I was overwhelmed because I loved the concept of Avalanche. You know, for me, they were going to be like the best launch pad on the market. I thought so anyway. But now, we don't know if this is true or not. But if this is true here with the AVAX tokens and too much of the supply went to Roach Friedman and these guys don't know crypto enough, then what if they dump on us? If they dump on us, look, they haven't even dumped on us yet, and we're already seeing a 20% decline. So what's going to happen if they dump on us from here? Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And I'm seeing the comments coming in. The dog for real. I can see that you are up to date on the thing. Let's see what Tyler's saying here as well. Tyler says, just listening, catching up with the story. Twitter full of no information. Appreciate your work on this. No problem, my bro. People like you make me feel good about doing what I do. So let's move on to the next video, yeah? Make sure you're liking and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 4K subscribers. I need your help to do it. Share it with your friends or whoever, whatever, la 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 la, so we can make millions in the next bull market. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to the next video. Carl says he was the very first person to receive Avalab stocks or AVAX tokens after Horowitz, a venture capitalist that provided their initial funding. So, good morning, Gian. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, David. Welcome to the show, Stephen. Where's Stephen? Where's Stephen? Welcome to the show. Good to have you guys on board. Leave your comments, leave your opinions. Let's watch the next video.
Kevin Seknicki's the COO. Emma Gunsider's the CEO.
Okay, so my man is giving us his life story. He's telling us before he sells us this used BMW, he's telling us who he is, where he's come from, and he's kind of giving himself a bit of a little push. You know, yeah, like I was the first one that joined the AVAX private cell. You know what I'm saying? They looked at me before anybody else. So I really don't know what stems this conversation. Whoever got my man on film, I don't know how they did it, but the way I would have done it if I was approaching this guy, I would have pretended that I had a private sale, like I had the next big crypto project, and I was looking for investors on a private sale, right? I would chat to him and I would say to him, well, look, I want to bring you on board. We've got limited spaces. Tell me a bit about you. Oh, why no sound on the video? Are you serious? It should have sound. It's because I'm muting myself when I'm putting the videos. All right, I'll make sure that the videos, I'll unmute myself when the videos play because I'm vaping in the meantime. We've got a funny comment here that says Goon of Thrones. And Ace says, where did these videos come from? So these videos are from Crypto Leaks. So if you go to Crypto Leaks on Twitter, you'll see their case here. And you'll see the link here. Yeah, I'm sorry about the sound, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the sound. It's because I'm muting myself when I play the video, and it looks like the sound is coming from the speakers into the mic. I won't do it again. I won't do it again. Okay, so moving on. So this guy is telling us who he is, and right here he's told us who he is, okay, and where he's come from, what his background is, how he got involved in the situation and whatnot. So if Ava Labs was flush with cash, having just received investment from Horowitz, which is one of the biggest crypto firms that you can have investment from, why did they need to pay for legal services in this way? All right. The answer is that they were not paying for normal legal services. The massive payments of AVAX and Avalab stock established a secret pact. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm going to repeat it one more time. I'm kind of gassed. This is the most Lord of the Rings, the most Game of Thrones situation I've ever seen in my life in crypto. I'm loving this. You know, hoping it's not true. I'm hoping none of this is true. But if it is true, then this is fun. This is fucked up. Sorry. If it's not true, then this is a bit of fun, you know? So now look at this. Kyle boasts that he has a full point on AVAX and Avalab stock. So a full point is 1%. Okay? That is a massive, massive amount of the supply. And look, Gianfranco has said something fantastic here. Fantastic. Gian, you're proving to me that you understand how tokenomics work, brother. You're proving to me how tokenomics work. And I'm going to add to that. So Gian says, dang, and AVAX still has a large, fully diluted market cap, which insinuates that all of the tokens of AVAX aren't in circulation yet. However, if this brother here is saying that he has 1% of the supply, I'm pretty confident that that 1% isn't going to be distributed across the market. It's not going to be locked somewhere. I'm pretty much assuming that he's going to own that 1%, you know, which is scary because if he was to sell somebody, like let's say, for instance, my man sees all of this and he panics and he's like, fuck it, I'm out, I'm out. If he sells this, AVAX will dump. AVAX will massively dump. So look, he says it here. Carl Bose, he has a full point on AVAX and Avalab stock. Let's see what he says.
Obviously, I'm biased. I have an interest in Ava Labs. And you have a stake in Ava? Yes. Okay. Can't a big one. I did very well. So what? I mean, you're big friends, so good. I've got about around a point. I'm the token supply and the equity. Okay, so you're both in token. Both I'm in the token and the equity. Yes.
So he's saying out loud that he's got 1% of the supply. Can you guys hear that good, by the way? Did you guys hear that? Well, let me check my stream. Yeah, you guys can hear that. You guys can hear that. Plus, it's got subtitles, so you're good. So, yeah, he's saying that he has 1% of the supply, which is a lot. Carl says he has about a third of what Kevin Sekniki has, who is the co-founder and current chief operating officer of Ava Labs. So I know a lot of you guys are crypto guys, and I know a lot of you guys haven't been in corporate before. So the way corporate works is that you've got the C level, which is at the top of the company. You've got the CEO, you've got potentially the CTO, the COO, the CFO, and the CEO is like the leader of the company. The CFO is the chief financial operating officer, which would be the chief of finances. You've got the chief of operations, who Kevin Sekniki is. He handles all the operations within the company, whether they be tech based, whether they be project based, any sort of management that sort of falls under his domain. He would be the chief of that. And then in this particular instance, what Kyle is saying, Kyle is saying that he has more of a supply than the chief operating officer, which, I mean, that's the first part of this that really gets me a bit, why has somebody from outside of the company who's providing legal services, why does that person have more of a supply percentage than the chief operating officer who happens to be the co-founder? You guys are going to have to let me know what you guys think in the chat, because for me personally, I can't really, that's the bit that confused me a bit. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the bit that confused me. And look, here we go. Look, Aromatic is doing the work for us. Thank you, Aromatic. Aromatic says he has 7.2 million AVAX tokens. Let's have a look to see what the exact. So, okay, so AVAX is worth $18 at the moment, right? So if we go here and we go to calculator, so we have 7 to, there we go, times 18. $1.3 billion. Is that $1.3 billion? Yo, someone in the chat, let me know. Cause I'm not good at reading. I'm not good at saying numbers. This is 9.6 mil, 129. Yo, someone in the chat. Someone in the chat. Help me, help me. Someone read this number out loud, please, if you don't mind. And fatality, yeah, you're right. You're totally right. And he's saying, okay, so Aromatic says about 130 million. Yeah. So $130 million worth of AVAX. Now you imagine, right, with the liquidity that AVAX has, yeah. If somebody was to sell $130 million worth of AVAX, what would happen? What would happen? It would look like a quick rug. It would look like a quick rug. That's the reality. So we continue anyway. We continue. Make sure you guys are smashing the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We're going to continue discussing this. So Kyle says he has about a third of what Kevin Sekniki has. Again, I don't understand how he has so much. I don't understand how he has so much. He shouldn't even have 10% of what the co-founder has. He shouldn't, you know? So Kyle says he helps control the AVAX token supply, and he helps Ava Labs with regulation issues and competitors. Then here's the next video.
You make sure that you unlock some tokens, you unlock some part of that, and because they're controlling all that.
Correct.
I'm helping them control that. You're helping them control that. And they understand that if it's not handled by you, there will be regulation issues.
Correct.
Which is, problematic. And they know that they need to keep you happy.
Correct. I am happy.
I know you should be happy.
Yes.
But again, you help them out in many situations.
Yeah.
You solve things to competitors and others.
Yeah.
And they should also be fair with you.
They have been fair with me.
More than when they probably be.
Potentially. Here's my thing. At the end of the day, I got a third of what Kevin got. So for me, that's fair.
I mean, this is just more information on what he's talking about. So, we've got a comment here that says, I noticed Amin acting suspicious a few times already. Look at the thread about the Solana ecosystem and how he manages to sneak in a lie regarding IOTA. Yeah, look, I'll be honest. It is suspect. It is fully suspect. Now, that's why this has picked up so much traction, because it's so suspect. I mean, we can't say that it's truth. We can't say that it's truth. At the same time, we can't say that it's a lie because the evidence is stacking up. So we continue. One more comment here. We've got some comments here coming in. Keep your comments coming in, guys, yeah, and girls, because I don't want to just have an opinion on this. When somebody watches this recorded video, I want them to see that the NJ community is having their opinions too. And I want them to see that you guys are part of the show too. I don't just want it to be like, what's going on, guys? We're going to talk about AVAX today. 5 points to discuss what the situation with AVAX is. I don't want them to be like that. All right. We need to stay interactive. This is your show just as much as it is mine. Some comments here. Y Legend says, big man ting, fam. It's not looking good, bruv. Let's see what Kyle is saying. Let's see if we can add some momentum to what Kyle is saying here.
Big man thing, yeah. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
No, it's not looking good at all. And Aromatic here says it would create an avalanche in price if he sells. Excuse the pun. That's a good pun. I like that analogy. I like that analogy a lot. Big sus. So Gun reminds me a bit of Alex Mahinsky, says Aromatic. Okay, so we move on. So Carl refers to Amin Gun by his nickname Goon. So brothers are tight with each other. Don't know how that works, but they're tight. He says he trusts Goon and Kevin like brothers and that they have the same interests. So to be honest, yeah, look, I'll be really honest with you. When I see it like that, it kind of gives me it kind of makes me think that they're tighter than it looks. All right. Maybe we don't need to sort of pass out judgment. Maybe they're tight. Maybe they're tight without the law firm, without AVAX. Maybe they're tight. And if they're tight, then he's gonna back his boy, right? So, you know, in terms of finance and in terms of distributing private sale, of course, we have to say there are certain things that we have to say in the sense that, you know, things should be fair, there should be justice in the world and whatnot. But in reality, if you're launching your own project and you've got family members and you've got your closest friends who want to participate and support you, you're going to cut them a piece of the pie that is bigger than other people. It's just the way that the world works. You have to get on board if you want to survive. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of gives me some solace. Continuing here.
Is this a relationship that is going to go for a long time?
Goon and Kevin, I trust like brothers.
So, same interest, same goals. Same interest. That's very important for us because.
Yes.
So he doesn't specifically talk about how long he's known them for, but he says, I trust them like bros. So there's something about that that makes me think that they're tighter than it looks. Again, we're not going to take this as a judge. We're not going to judge my man based off this, you know? We're going to keep going and we're going to see how it affects. So as the conversation progresses, the truth about the pact begins to emerge. Carl confirms that they litigate against or sue other parties in crypto as a strategic instrument to support Ava Labs to a level where they made him an equity partner. Carl says litigation is an underused tool. Massive red flag. Massive red flag. Let's go on to the next video.
I think litigation is an underused tool by everyone because if you're going to...
It is, but that's why you have to use it in a different sector than being a clerk providing litigation service.
Right.
What you did, you use it as a strategic instrument to support our labs also.
Correct.
On a level where they appreciate you and turn you into an equity.
Correct, yeah.
But that's a brilliant way of using it.
Yes.
It's a completely different way than being a lawyer.
It's a completely different way than being a lawyer.
Okay, cool. He's kind of exposing himself a little bit here. You know, you think about it logically, yeah? For those of you who work in offices, for those of you who run your own businesses, that's not a very professional approach, you know? It's not, and that's not a pun, you know, because roach, approach, that's a bad joke. But anyway, Kyle Approach moved to Miami for tax purposes. He moved in with Kevin Sekniki. See, look, bruv, this is a bit mad. It makes me, these guys are way closer than it looks. This is not football, you know. They don't have a massive mansion that they all live in. This is not football. Avalab COO reflecting how tightly the organizations work together. In the years since he moved, Carl Roach has failed to update his LinkedIn profile, which still lists his location as the New York City metropolitan area, which is a more prestigious place to locate a law firm. Naturally, Kyle's profile makes no mention of Avalanche or Ava Labs. Behind this elaborate smokescreen, Kyle is working from Miami with two key objectives: to increase the price at which he can sell his AVAX tokens and Ava Labs stock, and two, to reduce the amount of tax that he has to pay when he sells. So this is mad. This is huge FUD. You know, he's got a 1% of the supply and he wants to sell it based on what we're seeing here. And how he wants to sell it is kind of what's really sort of the catalyst behind this FUD. He's trying to put down his other competitors to make his project look good. And if his project looks good and price pumps, he can then sell it. Now, we know that the market is tanking anyway, right? This is August the 29th. We know that the market isn't looking very good at the moment. We know that we're in the bear market. We're in the final stages of the bear market, you know? Maybe we've got one more dip left or something like that, but really and truly, we're in the final stages, all right? Now, this guy looks like he's panicking and he's trying to sell based on what I'm seeing here, right? So let's continue anyway. Let's continue talking. We'll see what's happening. Harvesting confidential information. As the conversation continues, the first signs of perverse nature of the secret Ava Labs Roach Friedman pact begin to emerge. Carl reveals that he started out as a crypto expert for Ava Labs. I don't know what does it mean to be a crypto expert? Am I a crypto expert? Are you guys in the chat a crypto expert? Is there a certification or qualification that I can acquire to make me a crypto expert? And also, how is he a crypto expert if he works at a law firm? I don't quite understand. Um, would you guys listen to me talk about blockchain and talk about crypto and tokenomics and fundamental analysis and TA if I was Trader NJ, the law firm owner or the law firm CEO? I don't know. I'll leave you guys to make the opinion for yourself. Um, Carl reveals that the answer. Carl reveals that answer he can contribute a special kind of expertise and knowledge, which he explains he has been able to obtain because I sue half the companies in this space. In the US, bro, do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Carl tries to sue me. I'm just talking about the conversation, Carl. Don't come for me, please, if you don't mind. I'm just narrating what's going on, you know what I'm saying? In the USA, when you sue an individual or a company, you can demand access to their confidential accounts, commercial data, email and social media communications, and more, using a special legal process known as discovery. This has resulted in him seeing the insides of every single crypto company. Carl boasts that being able to collect information in this way has resulted in him becoming one of the top 10 people experts in the world of crypto. So this is what my man says. This is what my man is saying. My man is saying, I'm a crypto expert because I'm suing everybody around me. And when I sue them, they have to give me information. And when they give me information on their projects after me suing them, I then take this information, I build up a narrative which makes me an expert not on blockchain, not in crypto, not on projects, not on tokenomics, not on fundamentals, not on technicals, but it makes me an expert on knowing what's going on behind the scenes of competitors. Which means, to summarize, the word that I'm looking for here is blackmail. That's the word, right? I'm just talking about what I'm seeing here on this article. I'm not looking for trouble with anyone, but that's the word that this article is giving me. The word that I'm seeing here is blackmail. That is the certification or qualification my man is boasting about. I'm an expert because I'm able to blackmail. These men haven't got shit on me. Work with me. Give me your supply, because if anyone chats ish, I will handle them. I've got dirt on them that they'll never be able to handle, you know? So look what Meg is saying. Meg is saying very clever. It is. It's very, very clever. Very clever. I see what's going on here. So if a blockchain company could unfairly gain access to the confidential information of others, just like I explained, they could use it as a powerful competitive tool. It seems that Kyle sharing this special expertise with Ava Labs was one of the key factors that convinced Amin to make the pact. Until proven otherwise, we must assume that AVAX may even have directed Roach Freeman as to what confidential information they should harvest from the industry. So now, yeah, what they're saying, what this article is saying now is they're saying that it started off with Roach talking about how he has the content. What makes him an expert is that he knows what's going on in the background with other people, with other competitors, Solana, Phantom, Near, Ada, whoever you want to talk about, Cosmos. I don't know if he sued these companies, but he's saying that he's an expert because he's got shit on all these companies. All right? Now, what this is saying is that it got to a stage where he knew so much that Amin himself has turned around and said, well, yeah, look, do you know what? Since you know all of this, can you get this, and information about these guys and these guys? It sounds as though that Kyle isn't alone anymore. All right, I'll just grab some water. One sec. All right, moving on. We got 60 people in the chat. Please give me a like, Spike. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Bottom right-hand corner, we are trying to get to 4K subscribers. I appreciate all of you tuning in. For those of you who are tuning in late, just to let you guys know, we're around halfway right here. If you can see my cursor, we're around halfway-ish through the AVAX story. If you want, restart the episode to get your context. I'm breaking it down in a very layman way for everybody so that we're all up to speed and we all understand what's going on. So continuing, we see here, naturally, you can be sure that during discoveries against a target, Roach Friedman automatically demands the identities of investors, contractual agreements with partners, customer lists, payroll details, and information about every other kind of financial transaction. So do you know why this is messed up? I'll tell you why this is messed up. And even though we have so many people talking in the chat right now, I'm directing this question to you. Whoever it is that's listening right now, I'm directing this question to you. Imagine you invested in a private cell. Let's say, for instance, you are one of the investors of AVAX or Solana or whatever you want to call it. All right. And in order to invest into this private cell, you had to KYC. KYC is know your customer. You basically have to identify yourself and prove your identity using an official document such as your passport or your driving license or some form of identification. You send that all this information to that company that you're going to purchase private cell shares from, right? And then you're able to participate in the private cell. Now imagine these guys come around now and they sue this company that you're trying to get private cells from. They sue that company, and part of suing them means that they have to give these guys your personal information. Now, these guys have your real name, they have your address, they have where you live, they can Google you, they can LinkedIn you, they can Facebook you, Instagram you, whatever they want. They have access to your lives at that point. So this is why it begins to get disturbing, because if you were involved in the public cell, the private cell, if there was some sort of competition that AVAX were doing that involved, or any of the competitors that involved you having to dox yourself in some way, shape, or form, this is where it gets massively disturbing, you know? And information about every other kind of financial transaction related to organizations that they are litigating against and their founders and executives. They will also ask for complete email, Slack, and other communication histories. Again, look at this, bro. Look at this. This affects all of us. It doesn't just affect them. It doesn't just affect them. It affects all of us, which provide them with a treasure trove of information valuable to a competitor, including even technical insights. The many crypto industry participants have been litigated against Carl Roach and must now question exactly how much of their confidential data is now in the possession of Ava Lab executives. This ain't a joke, you know. This ain't a joke. This is the part of the conversation where it becomes very freaking serious. And if this is all true, then I will remove my support for AVAX. All the support and love that I've shared with AVAX, I'll remove all of it. I'll openly go, not against them, but I'll never tell my followers that I'm buying this, or I'll never put a trade plan out there that says this is good for AVAX, or I'll never, when the next bull market comes, we're only a year and a half away, max. You know, we're finishing the bear market. We're going to go into accumulation. We go into accumulation. We're in accumulation for 12 months. The Fed have to change their policies to bring inflation down. Inflation goes down. Stock market goes up. Bitcoin goes up. Energy prices come down. Maybe we get stimulus. So the bull market comes back. The bull market comes back. I'm not going to support AVAX if this is true. Fuck that. Pardon my language. I'm sorry if you've got kids in the room, but I'm not going to do that. Let's watch the next video.
Was like Ava Labs is like crypto expert in the beginning as well. So because I sue half the companies in the space, I know where this market is going. I believe better than one of the top 10 people who I've seen in the insides of every single crypto company.
So again, look, this guy, again, it comes down to you guys. You guys let me know in the chat, right? Let me know in the chat. What does it take to be a crypto expert? Because according to Kyle, going into the secrets and the structures of a crypto company and going through all the competitors is essentially what makes him a crypto expert. But what confuses me by the whole concept of expert is, if he's going to be using the word expert, then he's making me think that the word expert that he's really breaking down for us here is he's able to copy structures of other companies that have successfully gone 100, 200x, and he's able to implement that within his own company. That's what he's kind of saying. Now, when we're talking about crypto as a passion or crypto expert, I'm talking about fundamentals. I'm talking about breaking down the code. I'm talking about how it benefits crypto, how it expands the crypto ecosystem as a whole. But my man here looks like he's talking about 100x. I don't know. You let me know what you think. Moving on. Harming competitors and fooling regulators. Roach Friedman runs litigation against numerous people and organizations in the blockchain industry, i.e., he sues them. A favored method is to initiate a class action. Several months ago, Carl Roach claimed to be running more than 25 class actions. So the trick that we're talking about here is, I'm AVAX, you're Solana. You're doing well. Solana did better than AVAX did. We know that. We know that for a fact. Okay, the charts are there. Everybody who has access to TradingView, go and see what Solana did from the bottom to the top. Go and see what AVAX did from the bottom to the top. We can clearly see Solana outperformed AVAX incredibly. So what I do is I sue you. I don't know why I'm suing you. I'm suing you for any goddamn reason, but I'm suing you. All right? And because I'm suing you, you now have to share confidential data from your company, whether it be how you did what you did, how you built what you built, whoever's involved, maybe you got to share all their information. Whatever you did or whatever you've got within your company is now going to be leaked out. Not leaked out. The court will force you to show it. And this is a trick. This is a this is an insane trick. This is a movie type shit. This is movie, man. This is like a movie. Okay? So when they create class actions and other litigations against Avalab competitors and crypto industry participants, Carl Roach has revealed that the Roach Friedman often has two hidden purposes: surreptitiously causing harm to a competitor and luring regulators, including the SEC and the CFTC, away from Avalabs. So what he's talking about here is he's saying he wants you to leak this information so he can use it against you. And number two is, if he uses it against you, he wants SEC and CFTC to look at you and not them. Because look, think about it logically, guys. Yeah? If I held 1% of AVAX and I wanted to sell that token, if I was to dump my whole bag today on the market, if I logged into Binance or KuCoin or FTX or whatever, and I sold all my AVAX tokens, 1% of the supply, $130 million worth of AVAX, will destroy liquidity, number one. It will destroy the price, number two. And it will create outstanding FUD on the market. It will really and truly bring all the attention to me. It will put me in the spotlight because I'm dumping 1% of the supply. Okay? So how do I divert the spotlight away from me? How do I make it so that I can dump 1% of the supply and people don't look at me? They focus more on what Solana's doing and what Near's doing and what Phantom is doing, Cosmos, ADA. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you guys understanding what I'm talking about here? I hope I'm breaking it down for you in a way that you guys can understand. So here's a quick crib sheet for what's going on. So Roach Friedman, the law firm, typically attacks competitors using American class actions in which they claim to be representing a group of people who claim they have been harmed. For example, they can claim another blockchain's tokens are illegal securities. And consequently, some people who traded them suffered unfair losses where the price fell. And this is what I was explaining a second ago. If I'm going to dump 1% of the supply onto the market, then essentially, what am I doing? I'm bringing the attention to me. And what's going to happen is, so many people on Twitter, on Telegram, on YouTube or whatever, they're going to say, hey, I held this token and I suffered a 60% loss today because this person dumped 1% of the supply on the market and he dumped it unlawfully. You know, he dumped it when he told us that he wouldn't. And part of my investment, part of my belief in this project was that this guy or this girl, whoever this entity was, wouldn't dump those tokens. Therefore, I'm going to file a complaint to the SEC and the spotlight will be on you. So again, it's explaining here. So what they're doing is they're suing whoever they can, putting the spotlight on them. So if they want to do any sort of weird activities, the spotlight isn't on them. In the United States, class action legal filings are protected speech. This allows Roach Friedman to make damaging claims about other projects that are in reality completely false without risk of being sued for defamation or libel. Now, this word, I hate this word, defamation. I really hate this word. Probably one day I'm going to have to use it. If this channel gets so massive, right? And one day somebody starts showing crazy FUD about me that just isn't true, I'm probably going to have to use this word as well. But I hate this word. You know, when you out someone for what they're doing and they say, yeah, I'm going to sue you for defamation. Suck your mum, bro, about sue me for I've had that before, you know. I've had that before where somebody was chatting ish to me. So I said, look, it's so obvious what you're doing. And it's very, very obvious. It doesn't need me to go public to say this, but I will post it on my platform. And they say, yeah, we'll sue you for defamation. Suck your mum, bro. So, for example, they filed a lawsuit against the Divinity Foundation that essentially parroted the false claims of Arkham Intelligence. The purpose is to damage the reputation of their targets and or surrounding their brands. And to me, it goes back to TVL. Okay? AVAX are in the top 5 for all-time TVL. Right? They're in the top 5. How do they make it so that they can get to the top 2 or top 1? They know that they're not going to beat Ethereum, but how do they make it so that they can get the second place? You know what I mean? Got some weird comments coming in, man. We're talking about AVAX right now. And Y Legend says NJ likes pineapple on pizza. I do like pineapple on pizza. Oh, defamation. That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that. Good morning to you too, Derry. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. What's Meg saying? Don't you think other companies know what's going on? They do. They do. But look what it says here. It says it's here. So again, look, protected speech. That's what they're using to protect themselves. Okay, protected speech. So they're allowed to file claims about other projects which are completely false. And the purpose is to damage the reputation of their targets, and essentially they're allowed to get away with it because it's protected speech. Now, the result of this is that they can then get access to the company's secret information. Not secret. It's not like it's a conspiracy for the companies. It's just, if we're building, look, in it for the tech, what do you guys see in it for the tech? We've got a Telegram channel, which you should all be following. Link in the description below is the first link. We've got the Twitter, which is In It For The Tech, the Twitter account. And we've got the YouTube channel, In It For The Tech's YouTube channel, where I host the NJ Show. Agreed? I'm not going to talk to you guys about branding and logos and articles and thumbnails and headers. And I'm not going to talk to you guys about that. But if you was to sue me, I'd have to drop all that information out there. Would it mean anything to you guys? No, not really. But if you wanted to use it to go against me, or if you wanted to use it to better your own brand, this is the way to do it, according to what this article is saying. So once Roach Friedman has initiated litigation against a target in crypto, they can collect or harvest confidential information from them using the legal discovery process, creating expertise that they can share with Avalanche. I really hope you guys are getting this. It's, for me, I feel like I'm breaking it down in a way that you guys can really, really understand this FUD. Let me know if you guys aren't understanding it. I'm assuming that because the number of people joining the show is going up, but nobody's commenting. So I'm assuming that you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so the nature of this American class action system forces their target to spend far more on defense than Roach Friedman spends litigating against them. This is because if they lose, and juries are unpredictable, the judge can award astronomical damages against them. This drains the resources of the competitors as well as distracting them from the core work. So again, we go back to the example that I used at the beginning of the show with the round table with our kingdoms and queendoms or whatever. if I'm going to basically file a lawsuit against you, right? I'm going to file a lawsuit against you, not just to damage you, not just to make myself look better, but I'm going to do it in a way that forces you to utilize your core resources to focus on this. You have to focus on this class action lawsuit, while I'm going to release some new thing about I don't know, some bullish news. Just imagine some bullish news. You know, that's what I'm going to do. And it just makes complete sense. It's a very, very sneaky, very, very cockroach way to work. You know, I don't even have anything against cockroaches. I just felt like using that word. But yeah, it's a very cockroach type way to work. Thank you for the comments, guys. Zed says it makes perfect sense. Derry is understanding as well. Meg says a legal way for spying. So Meg is understanding. And Elizabeth, you're always going to drop good comments anyway because you're Elizabeth. I know you. So moving on. Roach Friedman's financial risk is limited to the money it spends on litigating against the target. All they have to do is find a narrative and sue them for it. They've got templates. They've done it so many times before that it becomes easy. And look, here we go. Roach Friedman here is weakening AVAX competitors. Exactly. Everybody's understanding. That makes me very, very happy. Drop some likes on the video if you can. We're nearly at 50 likes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, now is the time to do it. We'll be covering this over the next couple of weeks. We'll be doing more Bitcoin and Ethereum TA as well tomorrow. Can you forget about the market for a second? Like, focus on AVAX. We're focusing on the FUD. We'll talk about the market tomorrow. You're not going to make your milli today, my brother. Okay? Focus on this. So, Roach Friedman can spend a few $1 million litigating against a competitor and lose the case and still come out on top. Yeah? If their actions harm or suppress a blockchain that competes with Avalanche, then essentially what's going to happen is they're going to damage the reputation of their competitors in the meantime, giving themselves leeway to show quietness. Like, yeah, we had FUD on Solana, we had FUD on Near, we had FUD on Phantom, we had FUD on ADA. Meanwhile, AVAX is quiet. So if you're going to use a chain to send money across or to trade, it might be easier to use AVAX because AVAX is the quiet network. It's the network that you don't have problems with. It's the network that you don't have issues with. You're not going to get no FUD on AVAX, but you're going to get FUD on the other chains. So just focus on AVAX. That's what they're trying to do. By naming the founders and executives of blockchain ecosystem and companies in their class actions, they can threaten them with total bankruptcy if they lose. This destabilizes their key leaders and innovators, also placing tremendous pressure on their families, especially when there are children involved. Naturally, if they can cause family issue for the leaders of their competitors, this will further degrade their capabilities. Massive step. And this is not just for the leaders of the company. Imagine this is you. KYC is a big thing now, you know. I'm telling you, in 2017, when I was investing in ICOs, it was just a case of signing up. I wasn't even Trader NJ back then. I was Crypto Nas. You know what I'm saying? I would just go in, type in Crypto Nas, I'd put my address in, and that's it. I'm in the public cell. I just got to turn up and put money in when the right time is the right time. Now, if you're a public speaker, or if you're some sort of an influencer, if you're going to involve yourself in a private cell, you've got to show passport, you've got to show license, you've got to show address, you've got to show everything. Now imagine, this is just for the leaders. Imagine when they come to court and they say, yeah, we want all the confidential information. And part of that information is everybody that invested, everybody that partook in some sort of event or sale. And now they've got access to your information. And imagine you're just some innocent person who's got a voice on Twitter, a voice on Telegram, and a voice on YouTube, and you're just talking like normal. You're just here to help crypto grow. You're just here to expand the audience of cryptocurrency. You're just here to make people aware of what cryptocurrency is, what projects you're getting yourself involved with, what you think is going to help other people understand crypto better and make money for crypto better. And then these guys come up to you and they say, hey, we know you invested in this private sale. We know that you did X, Y, and Z. We're coming for you and your family. And if you don't do what we say, then we're going to put you in with these guys and you're going to be in the hole millions of dollars. So promote our project, promote what we're talking about, or else. To me, that's what this looks like. No cap. That's what this looks like. And that's the best way I can break this down for you guys. I'm not saying any of this is true. I'm just saying that this document is a very, very powerful statement. It's a very powerful accusation. This is not cool. This is not cool. Moving on. I swear we've got more videos. Yeah, we've got more videos. All right. So Ava Labs and Roach Friedman seek to surreptitiously increase the price of AVAX in a ruthless and high commercial manner. Their desire to promote AVAX and increase its price at any cost greatly increases the risk that the SEC would class the AVAX token as an illegal security to divert the attention of regulators like the SEC and CFTC elsewhere. They widely litigate against other actors in the blockchain industry, accusing them of regulatory transgressions. This protects them by diverting attention elsewhere while increasing the regulatory risk of the target, which is doubly useful to them if they are some kind of competitor. Carl Roach says he is the reason Ava Labs haven't been sued. He says to protect them, he makes sure that the SEC and CFTC have other magnets they can go after. Let's see.
So you've been close with those, John, Kevin.
Yes.
Of course, you must have impressed them a lot.
Yes.
And tell me the most impressive stories you have about how you impressed them. How are you being able to help them in the best possible way? That they have an equity, an equity partner, both on the token and
They haven't been sued yet, and there's a reason for that.
Really?
Yeah. That's the answer.
So you see, look how my man is responding. Look how my man is responding. All these other videos that he had, he was upbeat. He was like, yeah, this is how he acted. Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on. In the other videos, he was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, me, yeah. I was in the AVAX private, so what? Yeah, bruv. I was directly after Horowitz. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys, they reached out to me straight after Horowitz. That's just how I move, you know what I'm saying? And then in this video here, he's like, yeah, obviously, like, you know what? Yeah, like, they haven't been sued yet. That's the answer, innit? Stop asking me about this, bro. That's what it looks like. To me, that's what it looks like. My man is getting on edge here. Look at my man's posture. My man's like, that face. You got your serious face where you're like, and then you've got the face that where your dad's about to beat you up and you're like, you know what I'm talking about? That's what my man is doing right now. Let's move on.
So you really they're solver, they're problem solver also.
Yes. Yeah. I deal with making sure that the SEC and the CFTC have other magnets to go after. Because I'm a
You should know all the competitors much better.
Correct.
Yes, it's the smartest way.
Yeah.
That's what I do when we have competitors. We just use all the instruments we have, regulation. Same we do with law firms.
People, like, litigation can be a tool to competition.
It is a fantastic tool.
It's a fantastic tool.
That's why when you have the knowledge, and you're just pulling the strings, make it happen.
Right.
How's my man gonna say that? My man's like, blackmail, yeah? Blackmail is a good tool, It's a good way to blackmail is a fantastic tool against competitors. That's what my man said. Kyle even claims that thanks to his efforts, he has ensured that for Ava Labs, There's no such thing as regulation for what they want to do.
That was why Goon initially signed me up, and since he signed me up, I've ensured that there's no such thing as regulation for what they want to do.
So again, look, all I'm saying is that there's a way to talk about these things. There's a way to talk about these things, you know? Like, we'll run through my thoughts at the end of the show because we're like almost done with this, but we'll run through my thoughts towards the end of the show. But the way that you go about handling your profession, yeah, we already agreed at the beginning of the show, this guy looks like a salesman. We agreed that the way that this guy holds himself, he looks like he's a salesman, right? He wants to sell you something. He's got the appearance, he's got the tone, he's got the body language. But over here, he looks like he's on the defense, bro. He don't look like he's someone who's talking with conviction. At the top, the videos that we were looking at the beginning, he had conviction. These videos, he's not showing the same convictions. And in a like, if you're talking to someone about your profession, you know, look, I'm Trader NJ. If I'm going to talk to you guys about Manchester United, you're going to get Trader NJ. You're going to get Nas talking to you as Nas. And if you're telling me to talk to you about In It for the Tech, if you're telling me to talk about the NJ show, I'm going to speak with a bit more sort of diligence. I'm going to a bit more eloquence. You know, I'm going to talk to you guys from a professional perspective as to what my show is about, what my branding is about, what I do in the crypto space, how I help the crypto space, how I inform people, etc., etc., etc. I wouldn't say, yeah, you know what, yeah, dumping tokens on people is a good way, like, to make peas. I wouldn't do that. It's not very professional. So moving on, Amin regularly professes his support for other blockchain projects and indicates he wishes their ecosystems the best. Here he offers support for Solana users when they were having their wallets emptied by the Slope wallet exploit, claiming kinship by saying everyone in the space was affected, and then offering apparently well-intentioned technical theories on why it might be happening. Okay? So here he talks about Solana. You know, when Solana had that Slope issue, it was earlier this month. There was a massive FUD on Solana this month. And here he comments on it. All right. Nobody should be fooled. The tweet thread was created only weeks after Roach Friedman filed a class action targeting the core of the Solana ecosystem, claiming that Sol token is an illegal security. If this is true, if this tweet comes out weeks after they filed a class action lawsuit, then this is going to back up this crypto leak story massively. This is going to back it up massively. The false narrative Amin is establishing by these attacks hurts everybody in the industry. He should consider that one day he may find himself facing exactly the same arguments that he's establishing in a rush to hurt competitors. So this here talks about AVAX being a security. I'm not really fussed at that. But here I want to talk about this though. So personal vendettas, all right? It's a great surprise that Ava Labs legal proxy performs work prosecuting Amin's personal vendettas. This looks like a misuse of company resources for personal purposes, which is a serious no-no in the corporate world. His regular use of dark power is almost unexpected for a man who likes the brandish title of professor at Cornell University. Oh dear. Update. Amin appears to have been removed from Cornell and is no longer a professor. All right, say less. So, social media pundit. Amin's first vendetta was against a Turkish social media crypto pundit who said that he heard he was a member of FETO. I don't know what that is, but let's dive in and see what I go on.
So February 2021, one of the competitors paid a third-party YouTube personality to Goon is Turkish. He's crypto's big in Turkey. The top crypto personality in Turkey is this guy called Emre, Crypto Emre. He comes out and says, "Oh, I heard that Goon is a member of FETO, FETO, which is a terrorist organization.
That's mad. That's mad. I'm not going to comment on that. That's mad. Let's move on. Let's move on.
And Goon loses his mind. Like, you know, this is, are you, his family's in danger now, and he is pissed as fuck at this guy. But problem is, you can't sue him. You don't have jurisdiction over him. So defamation laws in America are real. But so there's two ways to get jurisdiction.
This is mad. Who is this guy, man? How did he get this guy to open up like this? Kyle Roach found out that the social media pundit was landing in Miami for a business trip. Oh my days, this is mad. He used the event to serve. Oh my days, this is so mad. All right, so listen to this. What he's saying is Crypto Emre was tried to out my man. He tried to say, yeah, Goon is part of this terrorist organization, the Crypto ISIS. Okay? And then, because my man's in Turkey, the YouTube personality that spoke about this, they couldn't at him, they couldn't sue him, they couldn't say anything, or it was just words. Like, I'm in London right now. So if I say something, like if I've said something in this episode, and I will cover myself later on towards the end of the episode, if I've said something in this episode that these guys don't like, then they're going to want to sue me too. They're going to want to at me in some way, shape, or form. All right? Because you can clearly see, based on what Crypto Leaks is saying, is they don't like it when someone speaks out against them. Now, if I was to go to the US, which is what Crypto Emre did, as soon as I land in the US, boom, straight away, they're on, man. They're coming for me straight away. Someone's going to appear with a pizza box saying, "Excuse me, are you Trader NJ?" I'm going to be like, "Yeah, but I didn't order a pizza." You've been served. And then they'll just hand me the lawsuit right then and there. I won't even be able to leave the country. It's mad. It's mad what he's saying. So that's what he's saying here. So Crypto Emre landed in Miami on a business trip. It must have been when, you know, there's so many events in Miami. There's so many events. I've never been personally. Maybe in the next cycle, maybe I'll go. I don't know. But Kyle shares that Amin now watches the video once a month, presumably to relieve the shock and pain caused by the ambush, revealing trouble tendencies. Kyle seems very pleased and says that's why Goon. This is mad, bro. This is nuts. Hold on.
He tweets. Landing in Miami, we had people staged at the Miami airport to, as soon as he got through security, tag him. It was the first time in 10 years tag jurisdiction was used on the federal court.
You don't need to do the jurisdiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, why does Goon, that video that I got from the guy who tagged him, Goon watches once a month.
This is mad. This is nuts. Look, real talk. This is nuts. This is not. Look, we're going to talk about whether this is real or not towards the end of the episode. All right. But what we need to do is before we formulate opinions and before we can come to some sort of a conclusion, what we need to do is we need to take the story for what it is. Okay. Now, Crypto Leaks might not be the most reputable source of information. And it may not be the most trusted source of information. They don't even have the branding and awareness that makes them big. But they've put together a document, a massive document full of evidence and information, and more evidence that they're claiming that they have against AVAX. Now, we're not going to pick sides. We're Switzerland right now. The NJ show is Switzerland. We're not going to pick sides. But what we're going to do is we need to make sure that we're enveloped in the situation. We need to see the situation for what it is. And we're not finished with this document yet. Can you see this thing here? We'll get to the end of the document when we get to the end of the document. All right? So for me personally, I'm enthralled by this. I'm stuck into this, you know? And that's why I'm making the reactions that I'm making. And that's why I'm saying the stuff I'm saying. But toward the end of the video, I'll give you my thoughts and you guys will share your thoughts with me too. But in the meantime, I'm getting shocked because these videos are mad. They're mad. You know what I'm saying? After completing his PhD, Amin spent 7 years as an assistant professor, then transitioned to associate professor, where he remained for the last 14 years, arguably over the past 21 years. He has not produced work of sufficient academic merit, as judged by his peers, to reach full university professor status. Who cares, though? Who cares? He made AVAX, and then he made billions off AVAX, so it doesn't really matter. I don't have a degree. Liz doesn't have a degree. Liz is the best trader that I know. She doesn't have a degree. SC doesn't have a degree, and he's the best price action trader I know. From a guy perspective, he's the best that I know. He don't have a degree, so you can still make billions and millions without having a degree. So this doesn't really matter. La 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 la. So karma system. So meanwhile, Emil had PR people. Okay, all right. Look. So meanwhile, Amin recently had his PR people update his Wikipedia page to make the dramatic claim that his karma system, published in 2003, is the first cryptocurrency that uses a distributed mint based on proof of work. Such an achievement would predate Satoshi. Oh my days, is this serious? Such an achievement would predate Satoshi, would surely tip the academic scales in his favor. But unfortunately, experts in the field of blockchain who have reviewed the Karma paper say Amin's claims are delusional. Yeah, bro, come on, man. Nah, bro. Look, I'll speak on this, right? Satoshi Nakamoto is the group, which I believe it's a group, that founded Bitcoin. Bitcoin is untouchable. It's just untouchable. It doesn't matter what ETH does, right? Bitcoin will always be the king on the Iron Throne, right? Or the queen on the, whichever you want to call it. Bitcoin will always be the king. Bitcoin will always be Sauron, if Sauron was double the power. Bitcoin will always be Zeno from Dragon Ball Super. That's what Bitcoin is. If Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. There is no Solana or AVAX or anything like that if Bitcoin goes. Even if Ethereum went down, something would come to replace it. I promise you. But if Bitcoin went down, no chance. No chance. No chance. So Satoshi's envy. There is evidence that Amin suffers Satoshi's envy. While developing Avalanche, he anonymously published a paper describing the consensus protocol he planned to use under the pseudonym Team Rocket. That's pretty cool. Pokemon reference there. I like that. I really like that. Which he then drew attention to on social media with a faux rapture, as though it heralded the return of Satoshi. Hey, come on, brother. Come on, bro. This is mad. This is mad. Okay, let's just move on. Craig Wright comes into the frame. Satoshi envy, academic bitterness, and a taste of dark power perhaps help explain why Amin wanted Carl Roach to pursue Craig Wright, who claims to be a part of the small team that invented Bitcoin. Many people fiercely disagree with Craig Wright's claim. I disagree with it too. I think you're begging it, G. But most people would not secretly attack him through the legal system. Let's continue.
I took down one of Goon's biggest arch nemesis, the guy who claimed to be Satoshi, Craig Wright. Yeah, so I took him down, and Goon loved that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
So he claims to be Satoshi. He claims to be the inventor.
This is nuts. The way that this is developing is nuts. I mean, we just got to wait till the end to drop our thoughts and opinions. But continuing, through his attacks on Craig Wright, Carl Roach boasts how he helped massively devalue the Bitcoin Satoshi vision, BSV, which we all knew was shit anyway. Like, not, okay, right, I'm going to get myself in trouble now. I'm not saying shit, but the concept was BSV was the real Bitcoin. And for me, I don't believe that that's true. I believe that Bitcoin is the real Bitcoin and that BSV was another fork of Bitcoin. Like, there were many forks in 2017, and I don't think that it holds any weight or merit against Bitcoin. Maybe fundamentally it does, but if you can't capture Bitcoin's audience, then you're not gonna succeed. You're not gonna thrive. So moving along. This will be of interest to Craig Wright and every member of the BSC cryptocurrency community who sustained losses.
Craig Wright claims in 2015 to be he's Satoshi Nakamoto. Wired magazine comes out. The mind behind Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. Right. He says he co-created Bitcoin with Dave Kleiman. Dave Kleiman died in his home in April 2013. And so, there was holes poked in his story, but no one challenged his throne as Satoshi Nakamoto. Goon, this drove Goon crazy, right? Goon is his professor. No, Craig Wright's not Satoshi Nakamoto's bullshit, but the public's buying his token BSV. He creates a fork of the Bitcoin protocol called Bitcoin Satoshi. It's a top 5 coin. This guy's now a billionaire. So what I did is the brother. This is my first foray into litigation finance. The brother called a number of litigation funders. All the law firms turned it down. This case is stupid. Doesn't make any sense. I saw the case and I said, "Oh, this guy claimed he created it, Bitcoin, with the dead brother. So I'll sue him for breach of partnership."
Bruh. This is juicy, bro. This is juicy. Or sis. At another venue with Kyle, we trod gently in our conversation, but it quickly became clear that his favorite class actions were against obvious Avalab's competitors. When asked, he appeared hardly able to conceal his glee when confirming that Dfinity, the not-for-profit developer of the Internet Computer blockchain and the subject of a major Roach-Friedman class action, was a competitor to Avalanche, or AVAX.
The city you said.
Yeah, I see.
It's probably a competitor to AVAX.
Yes, it is.
Yo, this is nuts. It just goes to show no matter how high up the chain that you get, the dramas are all the same. Let's continue. Kyle's personal nature emerges. Kevin Dutton, a psychologist and a writer specializing in the study of psychopathy at the University of Oxford, says that among professionals, lawyers count the second highest proportion of psychopaths because of the opportunities the career affords them to pursue their predilections. I've never said some of these words before, Psychopaths crave feelings of power and control over other people. I mean, this is a bit unfair. This is very unfair. Yeah, this is not nice. Psychopaths crave feelings of power and control over other people. Many display traits of grandiosity, narcissism, sociopathy, and Machiavellianism. We are not saying that Kyle is a psychopath, as a psychologist can classify people. However, we see traits in his behavior and in the following, Kyle appears to be expressing a disturbing determination to exert power and control over others. I don't know if I agree with these. I don't think that's very fair to say that about someone, but we'll discuss that towards the end. Let's keep going.
Most plaintiffs law firms, they don't like litigating. They want to just file a lawsuit. Settle. File a lawsuit. You say to a defendant, I don't fucking care about that. I do like it. I'm just a crazy motherfucker and I have resources and I will take you to the end. And taking you to the end it won't be a nuisance settlement. It will be, I've got a piece of paper that says, I own your company. Now, that is power. And that is what I think is a tool that has not been unlocked by very many.
Look, I'll be honest with you, yeah? I know that this guy is subject to massive FUD, but he's kind of like a badass. Like, I've never been able to really speak like this, I know many of you in the chat will probably never be able to speak like this guy speaking, but damn. Filing class actions on behalf of Avalabs, Kyle Roach has been enabled to freely pursue his predilections, because of the vast amount of wealth provided by Avalabs. So he's saying that he's able to do all of these things because AVAX are funding him to do so. And obviously he owns 1% of the supply, so he's got that weight. Just for the sport of it, Kyle boasts how he can file class actions that attack those competing AVAX, such as Solana and the Divinity project, on behalf of Avalabs. At the time we collected these recordings, Roach Friedman had already been working on 2 class actions against Divinity and had filed one, but had not yet filed its first class action against Solana. However, he has now filed a major class action against Solana. Everything he said proved true. Oh my days. You remember earlier on, I think it was like 20 minutes ago, when we were talking about how Solana had it was the exploit, what was the wallet exploit, man? It had a wallet exploit. It begins with S. It was just a bit higher. I remember this. It was last month. We covered it on the stream here as well. Solana had an exploit. Amin comes out on Twitter and he's like, yeah, I feel bad for these guys. Like, we've got to take responsibility together. Anyway, apparently a few weeks before that, they filed a class action against Solana to try and hurt them. And now we're seeing here as well that he wants to do the same thing again, but this is his first class action. It's not just a standard lawsuit, it's a first class action. So I can sue Solana. Both the class actions filed so far against Solana and Divinity make accusations that their tokens are illegal securities. Thank you, Himby. Thank you very much. Himby says it's Slope Wallet, the Slope Wallet exploit. So let's see what this is about now.
I was fortunate in that I did the Avalanche deal, and so I have the ability to say, look, it's not about the money anymore. It's about taking you guys to trial in the support of it. And
it's able that allows so the competitor against one of their competitors.
No, they have me do that on behalf of the client. Their name is Ever. So I can sue Solana, a plaintiff who purchased Solana.
What about Divinity?
Oh, yeah.
The evidence is stacking up, you know. How Kyle Roach sees the legal system. Kyle leverages the fact that the judges and juries don't understand the blockchain.
You mentioned that judges and juries don't really, I mean, you have to explain to them what the whole blockchain is about.
Yes.
But it's always something that you can use to your advantage.
Correct.
Because they don't understand what's going on.
Correct. So you can
manipulate is not the right word, but you can influence.
100%.
I don't know. I mean, the guy's drinking as well. The guy's drink. He doesn't look drunk to me, but he's drinking too. I don't know how you say stuff like this and then come out later on and say that it wasn't you or that you didn't do it. He has a colorful strategy for bamboozling juries and gaining their trust.
What you do is...
Hey, what did he say? What was that? What was that first bit? Did you see that? Hold on. I swear it said show me. So, okay, let's just see. Let's just see.
What you do is, metaphorically, you pull down your pants and you tell your jury, here's my cock. Now you pull down your pants a little bit. Show me your cock. So we're just going to trust each other, and we're going to sit here naked.
What the fuck is he talking about? Hold on. All right, guys, welcome back to the NJ show. I hope you guys are doing well. Show me your dick. Hi, guys, Trader NJ here. Today I'm gonna show you my dick. Now we're here. We're just in a room. My dick's out. Show me your dick.
So we're just going to trust each other, and we're going to sit here naked
and show each other our dicks.
In a room and like, look, I'm going to tell you a fucking story with my pants down. And it's funny. It's funny that I'm telling you a story with my pants down. Isn't it fucking funny that we're sitting here talking about a story with my pants down? I don't want to trust that guy.
All right, he's definitely drunk. He's drunk because we've seen all the other videos, and his body language was very different. Yeah, his body language was very different. So I think in this scene, this dinner scene here, I wouldn't I wouldn't I wouldn't take this one too seriously. These scenes here, he's definitely drunk. Like if any of us are in that situation where maybe we're under the influence of some sort of it could be anything, it could be any type of drug or any type of intoxicant, we're going to say crazy things too, you know what I'm saying? So we'll continue anyway, we'll continue.
The jury just listens to the story. I mean, the fact that 10 idiots control the flow of all the money that happens in American class actions, American, like every case. That is what makes the practice of law.
So you take advantage of the ignorance of the blackjack.
Yes and no.
Okay. All right. So earlier, when boasting about the large settlement he believed he could obtain from one of the class actions, he seems to say that a key deciding factor would be the interests of his law firm. Shouldn't the decision to settle be based solely on the interests of the class of the plaintiffs he's representing? Yeah. I mean, if you're suing someone on the basis of X, and your motive is on the basis of Y, then I don't know. It's. Whew. All right, we're gonna have to wrap this up soon. So let's finish these videos. Let's finish it from here, and then we'll have a quick little sort of mini discussion about it and wrap up the stream.
I don't think there's any reason to settle for less than $500 million to $1 billion. But it's, for me, it's if we get $100 million settlement, we're in the front page of all the legal press, and so it's good for my purpose.
Yeah, so he's saying that, you know, when he's suing people, as long as he can sue them for the most amount of money that he can get, then the more money that he gets from the settlement, the more chances that his firm and AVAX will be in the news. They'll be promoted, they'll be pushed. So, you know, it says here, perhaps it's not surprising that he considers his own interests when deciding how to conduct the case, because he describes one of the plaintiff's classes, people who lost money in crypto, as 100,000 idiots. He's talking about us, by the way. He's talking about me and everybody in the chat when he says that.
So now I beat them, or they settle. They say, all right, fuck Kyle. We settled. $100 million. So I now take $100 million. I go to the court and I say, hey, court, I got $100 million for these 100,000 idiots out there. Give me $30 million. And then I will administer it.
Bomber clot. Okay, I mean, litigation is the most uncorrelated asset that exists, period. And you know what? I don't know, based on everything that we've spoken about so far in this episode, for me, I'm going to use the word litigation as potentially blackmail. That's kind of what this article is trying to promote, right? They're trying to promote blackmail and litigation as the same thing. So stay focused. Stay focused.
In this particular case, you're funding the expensive.
I'm funding $2 to $3 million.
So much.
For a 50-50 chance at 200 to 300 million, it is the most, I believe, litigation is the most uncorrelated asset that exists. Period.
You know, for a guy who says he's a crypto expert, this is nuts. He's an expert at suing people in crypto. He's not an expert at crypto. Roach Friedman actually began as Roach Cyrulnik Friedman, but according to ex-partner Jason Cyrulnik, once it became apparent just how valuable their haul of AVAX tokens and Avalab stock was, Kyle Roach and Devin Friedman conspired to expel the older man from the partnership in February 2021 by outvoting him, then keeping his almost 25% share for themselves. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's wrap it up from there. All right, guys, look, let me know in the chat how you guys feel. Let me know how you feel about this, because it's been an hour and 40 minutes of just mind-boggling information. which I feel like I've broken down. We've broken it down together. It's not just been me, it's been all of us. Everybody's participated in the chat. A big thank you to all of you guys as well. So look, the Avalabs CEO, Amin, he's come out with a response already to say, how could anyone believe something so ridiculous as the conspiracy theory nonsense on crypto leaks? We would never engage in the unlawful, unethical, and just plain wrong behavior claimed in these self-serving videos and inflammatory article. Our tech and team speak for themselves. Oof. Look, honestly, for me personally, this is very, very disturbing information. It's very difficult to ascertain sort of what to make of this. You know, we don't know if this is true. We don't know if it's not true. We have to take all of it with a pinch of salt. We have to make sure that we're not judgmental. We have to make sure not yet. We can't, as a public, as the crypto community, because we're still such a small community, and you have to remember that it's the bear market. So we're some of the last people here. You know, people in crypto, the masses won't really come back until the next bull market. So for people like me and you right now who are in the space, we're kind of the only sort of people here. Okay, so we've got to make sure that we represent ourselves as a community in a way that's professional. That's we've got to make it look as though we've got to make it so that the crypto community is an evolved civilization. We don't want to look like we're a bunch of uneducated. I don't know what example I can use on the stream, but we don't want to make it look like we're uneducated. All right. So we want to take the information that's been presented to us, and we can formulate an opinion for sure. We can, but we shouldn't be quick to judge. All right. I think we should wait. We should wait for the AVAX team to come out and really get a hold of this. We need them to come out and take it head on. What I don't want to see is AVAX ignore this. I don't want to see AVAX pretend that this didn't happen. I don't want them to dissolve their partnership with Roach Friedman. I want them to hold their partnership with Roach Friedman, and I want them to come out and say, this is false, and I can tell you why this is false. We have to remember as well that if you pay attention, this stream as an example, we're an hour and 41 minutes into this stream. Whether you're watching this recorded or whether you're watching this live, we're an hour and 41 minutes in. Anybody could take a snippet of what I've said and it could be used out of context. Now, a lot of these videos that have come out on the air that we've shown on this stream today could potentially be out of context. They're 20, 30 second clips, some going up to a minute 15, but we don't know what the context is and we don't know if it's real. Okay. And obviously we're getting, obviously here we could see that AVAX has taken a 23% hit today in terms of TVL, but they're still top 5. They're still in the top 5. They're still holding above Polygon. AVAX has multiple chains. Okay. They have the C chain, they have the X chain. They have multiple chains. Now, each chain sits on its own subnet. For those of you who don't know what a subnet is, it's one network that's broken down into different subnets, all right? Now, if you look at each subnet, you're going to get different metrics for each subnet. But if you're going to look at the total usage of the network, you're going to see why it's still top 5. It's still in one of the highest sort of transaction basis. From a transaction point of view, it's still one of the highest used blockchains on the market. Okay, and in crypto, for what we have today, it is one of the best chains that we have available. Okay, so we can't be quick to rush our judgments. We have to remember that there was a time that AVAX was printing millionaires. There was a time that all the projects that were launching under the AVAX ecosystem were printing so much money. We have to keep that into consideration. You know what I want to see? I want to just quickly look to see if Crypto Leaks has released anything since. So this was released a few days ago. Who's this? I can't tell if this is halal or haram. I can't figure it out. So 8 minutes ago, is this to do with AVAX? Math implies. Oh yeah. All right. Let's quickly go through this. 3 hours ago. Oh, there's more. All right, let's just quickly see what this is. Let's quickly see.
So you read sulfur, problem sulfur.
Yes. Yeah. I deal with making sure that the SEC and the CFTC have other magnets to go after.
I think we've seen this. So more on AVAX. These are the videos. So really and truly, the only real thing that's different here is Amin says, how could anyone believe that something so ridiculous as the conspiracy theory is nonsense? So Crypto Leaks has responded straight away to say, see the following from inside Roach Friedman. This is how they divide the AVAX you are still giving them. Oh my days, bro. Oh my days. The founding partners understand that Roach Friedman LLP represents Ava Labs. Okay. Ava Labs is a startup company, la 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 la. In exchange for their legal services, Ava Labs has agreed to pay Roach Friedman a certain amount of tokens over a 36-month period, beginning on September 30th, 2019. A copy of Roach Friedman LLP, Ava Labs retention agreement, is attached in this MOU as Exhibit B. Notwithstanding, the founding partners understand that Roach Friedman LLP has agreed to distribute the AVAX tokens according to the following breakdown. Blood. This is nuts. So basically, what's going on here is everything that apparently Kyle has done to the other competitors, Roach Friedman are doing to them. Crypto Leaks is doing to them. It's mad. I don't know. I want to see the comments as well. I mean, again, yeah, it's just a story. So there's not going to be any big, I don't know. You guys have to tell me what you guys think. Okay. You guys have to tell me what you guys think. I'm going to wrap up the stream here. But what I will say is this. Before we shoot off. What I will say is, look, AVAX is a project that up until as we currently speak, I still respect this project. Okay. If you go through my Twitter, you'll see that I've supported AVAX in the past. If you go through my Twitter, you'll see that I've promoted Avalanche in the past. I respect the AVAX community. I respect the AVAX ecosystem, and you know, I've worked with Avalanche in the past. Okay, I've worked with not Avalanche, Avalanche. I've worked with them in the past, and they're good people. I've never sort of seen anything that correlates to any sort of weird behavior like we're seeing on Twitter today. But you know, what we need to do from here, in my personal opinion, is we need to let it unfold in time. We need to see if more evidence surfaces, and we need to see if Avalanche will respond back. So we've seen a document here today that is heavily biased towards the sort of destruction of Avalanche. Okay, it would be good if we had something similar, but that would go against everything that Crypto Leaks is saying. Okay, so for every sort of point that Crypto Leaks has made, I think we need to see Avalanche come back and respond to it. Would I buy Avalanche here? I think that right now we're in a bear market, and any pump is short-lived. For those of you who tuned into Trader Exo's stream last night, you should know at what part of the market that we're in. For those of you who tuned into the episode that I did about market cycles, which I'm talking about every episode these days, you guys would know what stage of the market that we're in. Okay, so would I buy AVAX now? No, I wouldn't. And that's not because of the FUD. That's because of where we are in the market cycles. If you're buying spot or leverage right now, you're not really a good trader. You're trading against the trend. Okay, you're probably going to lose a lot of your money if you're trading against the trend, because you'll trade, you'll make some profits, you're not going to sell, the downtrend will continue, and you'll be sort of screwed. I can see here AVAX is going up in price. It was around 1790 when we started the stream. It's around 1850 now. Is it a bounce for continuation towards the downside, or is it going to be the bottom? My opinion is that it's not the bottom. No way. You know, I think we need to see what Avalanche will say on the subject, and we need to see what they come back to and what we respond. We'll cover it on this show. In the meantime, all of this is just opinion related. This is all a speculative. This is a speculative stream. Okay, so do not act on anything that I've said. Just take the news for what it is. Great episode. Thank you all who tuned in. Thank you all for interacting with me today, for making your opinions. I love the fact that people have their own opinions here on this show. I love the fact that we're continuing to grow. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. Share this stream with anybody that you can share it with. Help me out on Twitter, help me out on Telegram. The Telegram link is the first link in the description below, so please do go and join that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, we'll do some TA tomorrow, unless there's some major news that we need to cover. All right, take care everyone, love you all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the NJ Show.